Everybody. I'll start again. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's Family Health Show, Season 2, Fairfully and Wonderfully Made, Know Your Body. Thank you for joining us on True Temperance International for another episode of another exciting, God-inspired and educational session. If it's your first time on here, welcome. Those of you who are joining us on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. That's the sign language, welcome. And I'm your host today, Sharon Wallace, and co-hosting with me is...
My name is Jonathan, and I will assist Sharon today.
And hopefully we'll both be assisted with the Holy Spirit. Okay, so I'm going to run through some promotional slides. I should have paused this so you could have seen us, but it doesn't matter. You'll see us anyway later, but we're not that important. You are who is important. So let's just run through our slides. Okay. Right, so today's presentation, as you can see, is called Needs Watering. And you might be thinking, what does that mean, needs watering? You will understand it, as they say, you'll understand it better by and by. You will, okay? So as Sister Joan, who is on the platform, Joan, would you like to unmute and say hi?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Joan. So we'll find out a lot more about what needs watering and how it's going to be watered by our presenter today, Sister Joan Cornwall. So moving on. This is an opportunity for us to tell you that we're not going to be on next week. And I can hear you all going, oh, but we will be taking a break. And pretty much that's how we're going to be running the Family Health Show. The last Saturday of the month is where we schedule a break in so we can do more things community-wise. Jonathan, would you like to say something about that?
Yes, so before the lockdown, for those of you who knew us, we used to do like community event in terms of holding health seminar and stuff like that. And because we are on Zoom, that take up most of the time. So if we go ahead and skip the last Saturday in the month, then it will give us an opportunity to go back to some of those things that we used to do.
Thank you, Jonathan. So when we come back from the break on the 5th of February, that's Saturday, the 5th of February, our next presenter is going to be Sister Lucille Fifield, and she'll be speaking. How many of you have heard of the Fat Controller? Okay, I'm not going to go there, but it's related. Some of you may have heard of it, related to a children's television program. Well, we're going to be, Lucille will be speaking on the Fat Controller. So come and tune in and you'll learn a lot more about what it is that is the Fat Controller. Okay, so please, I'm sure you will, some of you who may be intrigued thinking, huh? But that's fine, come along. We will all learn together about the Fat Controller. And moving on in the slides, we have our disclaimer. Jonathan, would you be willing to read the disclaimer, please?
Sure. So only a physician can diagnose, treat, and prescribe for illness or disease. Any information disclosed or discussed at the TTI Zoom Talk show is for educational and information purposes only. Please continue to seek professional medical advice from your general practitioner regarding any illness or disease you may be suffering from. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And moving on. So with True Temperance International, we do like to stay in touch with our viewers. You are all important to us and we can learn so much from each other. Some people have been doing medical missionary work for a long time. Some people have just started learning. Some people are learning more about their personal health and that of their families. And so that we don't leave you a long time, from week to week, we do set challenges throughout, usually at the end of every session. And I'm hoping that today will be no exception, that a challenge will be set after today's presentation. That said, we use our spiritual health group, women's wellness group, and the men's wellness group to stay in touch. And that could be to encourage each other with the challenges that we set. Perhaps there's some health questions that you might have that we might not have covered, and it might not have actually been the topic for the week that we've been just presented, but you'd still like to get some advice. And it's a family, so we can ask questions. Anybody who knows the answer can pipe in with the answer, and it's your platform, so it's yours to learn together about how we can make healthy lifestyle choices. And the spiritual health group is where we can share devotions and pray for each other if we have any particular prayer requests. But basically, it's all about staying in touch and encouraging one another. So please take a note of those URLs. And if you have Telegram installed, you'll be able to quickly join one of our groups. If you don't have Telegram, see how you can get it. Okay, that's the best way I can really explain that. Okay, so the next slide is one of our team members, Janine. You can see her photo on the bottom of her poster there. She has virtual cooking sessions lined up for us all via Zoom, and the theme is mood food. Okay, mood food. And this is basically food that's going to help to fight depression and anxiety. So some of you are thinking, well, we hear the saying, I am what I eat, but I'm feeling a bit low. Am I eating correctly? Or is there an issue? So for £25 per session or £60 for all 3 sessions, you can join Janine Higgins from Plant Easy as she shares with you how to come up with some great breakfasts in the first week, quick lunches in the second week, and some dinner recipes in the third week. So have a look at the poster. Janine's contact details are there, or you can contact Plant Easy at icloud.com. So I've got something in the way on my slide there. And the number's there, nice and big for you, 07967. It's big for me. I think Janine had my eyes in mind when she put this slide together. 07967 626 391. Okay, so that's mood food with Plant Easy. Are you getting tired of hearing me? Jonathan, anything you can say on this one?
So here's this post actually promoting a detox program that will be run by Dr. Louisa Comosa, Louise Reed, Joan Cornwall, and Sonia Barnes. It actually starts on the 28th of February, and I think it'll be running until the 3rd of March. So anyone who is interested in being a part of this detox program, Mercy's Door Health Ministry contact details is on the screen, and you can contact Louise for further information.
Thank you, Jonathan. So this is to help detox your colon, your gallbladder, and your liver. Now, I did notice a hand. Someone called John raised his hand. That confused me because I also have John, who's co-hosting Jonathan. John, is there anything particular that was that an accident, or did you raise your hand on purpose? It's gone down, so I'm assuming it was an accident. Okay. And behind Jonathan, you can see some bottles lined up that look similar to the ones on the screen. Jonathan, what's that all about?
So if you are a regular, or if you've been coming on, then you will have seen that we are, as TTI, we are actually, you can purchase these oils from us. They are pure olive oil, veganically grown in Spain at the Unocento farm, and they are available from us, TTI. So if you are interested in them, then you can contact us. direct, and if you are any of the group. I must say, we only have 11 left. Most of them is already gone. So if you are interested, then you know what you need to do, and do it quickly.
Thank you, Jonathan. So yes, and it does taste good. It does taste good. Mine's almost finished, so maybe I'll have to order one of those 11 left, because it's not only is it about the taste. In fact, I did set some homework last week. We'll see if anyone's done that. The benefits of olive oil. Did anybody do that? And if you did, would you like to share? Okay. And so moving on. So last Sunday just gone, Association of Health Reformers facilitated and hosted a No Jab, No Job interactive workshop. This was very well attended, and Sister Joan, would you like to unmute and tell us something about getting access to this workshop, because this was the third one of the conference? Okay, maybe.
Sorry. Yes, Sharon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So last Sunday, as Sharon mentioned, we held the No Jab, No Job interactive workshop, which was part 3. So we had held part 1 and part 2. What the difference was with part 3 is that this one was not live streamed on YouTube for various reasons. And that is, we allowed the attendees who attended the workshop to be able to ask their questions live to the panel, which included Lucille Fifield and Kwame, who is a legal advisor, and also Laverne. Some of you may know Laverne. And so because of the questions and the fantastic information that was involved in the workshop, we decided not to actually save it to YouTube. Instead, we will send it out to individuals who request a copy of the video, which is perfectly fine with us. We are a not-for-profit organization, and the only thing we're asking for is £1. If you can send £1 or any size donation, we're more than happy to send it to you, to your inbox. So I hope that sits well with everyone and you can understand. But this workshop was for those people, who are going through the process of speaking to their managers on the job, etc. And it actually gives them a lot of the tools and relevant templates that will be very, very useful to aid in the conversations that they're going to be having. Certainly people have been having these conversations since the beginning of last week. And so they'll find the information in the video very, very useful indeed. So if anyone is interested, they can contact ahreformers@gmail.com, and we will then send the video to you. Thanks for that, Sharon. I thought I was actually going to be mentioning it at the end, so you caught me off guard.
Okay, always prepared, Be ready to give an answer. Okay, right. So then, thank you for that, Joan. So yes, for £1 or more, any donation, you will be able to access what was an amazing session and workshop. Definitely worth tuning into if you didn't get the opportunity to tune in at the time. And Jonathan.
So this is where we just like to express thanks to all our viewers, our supporters, those who've been supporting us since we initiate TTI. I think this is going about almost 2 years now, Sharon. So we like to really thank you for all the support and for continuing sharing the video, sharing the information, and we just thank you for being with us and staying with us. And if you like to support us financially in any way, then the information is there where you can do so. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm just going to end the screen share here. I think that's it. I'm sure that's it. Yeah. Right, so last week, hi. Okay, last week we had a session, and who can remember what was it about? Jonathan. It was the circulatory system. I'm sure it was. It must have been. It had to have been, because that was the challenge that we gave you. Okay, so we had 3 challenges, and now let's see if I can remember them. Maybe I need something to help with my memory system. But one of them was to rub garlic on your feet and see how long it takes for you to taste it, or garlic or some other, maybe an essential oil. See how long it takes for the taste to appear in your mouth. Challenge number 1. And that will be an indication as to how good your circulatory system is. Challenge number 2, if you have cold hands, or well, cold feet predominantly. If you have cold feet, your extremities, I'm not going to put my feet up, just imagine these are my feet, okay? If you have cold feet and you want them to warm up, what you could do is get some coconut oil. I should have some here to demonstrate. And I have my cayenne pepper in the living room. I'm normally in the living room when we do this. Get some coconut oil, mix it. Okay, at the ready, ever ready, thank you. Here's some cayenne pepper. So put some of this in your coconut oil. It doesn't have to be liquid coconut oil. It could be fractionated. It could be the solid one. In fact, that may even be better for you for distribution. Mix it together and then rub it on the soles of your feet and see. Okay, here we go. Here's some coconut, solid coconut oil. Rub. So you'd mix it together. Is he going to mix it for me? Probably not. He says no. Rub it on the soles of your feet and see how quickly your circulation improves to that area, and your feet will warm up. They'll feel like toast. But as I was saying, don't put too much cayenne pepper on, otherwise you may end up making your socks red. And do not, disclaimer here, do not rub your eyes after doing this. Okay, it will burn. Okay, so there's a word of warning. So
perhaps you can use a gloves, Sharon.
You could use gloves, but take the gloves off if your eyes are itching. Don't put the cayenne pepper in your eyes. Okay. And there may have been a third one, but I can't remember. So this is an opportunity for individuals to unmute if you've tried something that was mentioned for the homework. And I did post it in the Telegram groups. So, or if you did the olive oil homework. Anybody? I can see Louise dancing around. That's right, we caught you on camera. Anybody? Dr. Louisa was our presenter last week. I know she informed you very well about your circulatory system. Is there anybody who didn't necessarily do the challenge, but does that anyway? Okay, don't know what she wants. I went for a walk earlier. Some of you may have seen the pictures that I posted, and I thought, okay, it's cold outside. I'm going to get cold feet, and I'll come inside and I'll do the demo. So I've got it. But no, my feet stayed warm. Thankfully, my feet stayed warm as I was out. I had them in boots. I didn't go out in flip flops or anything silly like that. And my circulation must have improved, because normally when I go out, my feet are cold even in my boots, and my hands usually get cold even in gloves. So something must be working. So I give God the thanks and the praise for that. Okay, so before we move on to our presentation, Joan, some of you know that I like to get a little bit interactive with our presenters before they come on, and just so that we can learn a little bit about them. So Joan doesn't know my questions that I've got for her. She's thinking, uh-oh. Don't worry, you are fine. You're in safe hands. Okay, now I know Joan, and Joan loves singing. Okay, that's why I was inspired when you were singing when I came on. And there's 2 questions. Firstly, do you have a favorite song? And if you do, why? That's one question, by the way, part A and part B.
Okay. I have many favorite songs, Sharon, but the song that I love is It Is Well With My Soul, and I believe that's the one I was singing to when we were on the platform earlier, getting ready, because it was playing on my phone, and I just started singing. I love that song so much, and it was a song that I started singing when at the end of my mom's funeral. So that song resonates with me, quite a bit.
Very comforting song. And those of you who know the song and know where it's come from, if you know the story of the person who penned those words, it's a very powerful song. The lyrics, all the verses are extremely powerful when you know where it's coming from. And if you don't know, maybe you can find out. Okay, go to our friend Google and see if he comes up with the answers. Okay, so the song, what is the song? It was It Is Well With My Soul.
Yeah.
Okay. The second question for you, Joan. Now, she revealed to us that she sang on the platform, and I'm not going to ask you to sing now, don't worry. But when you're dealing with your health guests or your clients, or however we wish to term the people that you help with medical missionary work, this is a part 2 question, first of all. Part 1, do you find that singing is therapeutic? And secondly, do you sing with your health guests?
So the answer to your first question, singing is actually very therapeutic. And I know that in some healthcare settings, not even just the medical missionary setting, they encourage music for patients. For instance, patients who suffer from dementia, I know that there was a study that was done, and what they found was even though they suffer from dementia, and I think with dementia, they tend to forget people, situations, etc., that has taken place in their life. But once they hear music from specific parts of their life, they will just start singing. I don't know if anyone's witnessed that. And I certainly saw a video the other day. It's amazing, this lady, the way she sang, who suffered from dementia. And the second part of your question, music is very healing. And I know that I remember when I was at Manor House, and there was a particular health guest, and she always said to me, Joan, let's sing a song. And we would sing together. And I know that sometimes I can't help it. If I tend to play music that is very calming. So while I'm doing a treatment, I'll be playing music. And sometimes I can't help myself. And then I find myself humming while I'm doing the treatment. And they says, oh, can you sing? And I can hear your voice. They find it very soothing. And if I'm playing music, for instance, if someone's in the steamer and I play the music, they will sit there and then they'll close their eyes and they're like this. And they've got this smile on their face. And they just sing it, and they says, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I feel so peaceful. Oh, I feel so calm. So music, that's what music does to people. It actually, I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken, when we did a session, Sharon, and I can't remember which one it was, if it was a sleep one, I can't remember. But do you know, music can actually pass the blood-brain barrier. It just elevates people to a different level. And music has been known to provide healing. People who have been in comas, and when music is played, it has been said where it starts to help them. It starts to what's that word? I can't remember it, but it's something to do with they start to tune in. They can hear it. So yeah, I love music. I used to, now you've asked me, I'm gonna tell you, I used to take piano lessons and organ lessons and singing lessons when I was a teenager. And the one thing that my mother said to me before she passed, she says, Joan, God gave you that voice. Do not stop using it. Please continue to sing and use it to evangelize. I absolutely love singing. I get lost in singing. So there you go, everyone listening in. Don't worry, this is not a music show or anything like that. If you just joined us, Sharon is asking me about myself. And I remember my mom saying, because I'm a twin. So Janet, my sister, she lives in Massachusetts. And she said the one thing with me and Janet in our crib, she could just leave music on and we were just rocking in the crib and we were just quiet. And I believe that's where it came from. It started from there because I can't get rid of music. I love it. Lucille will tell you, if I'm at Manor House, you know where I am. Just follow the music.
Okay, thank you so much, Joan. And we can see that music is one of your passions.
I love it. Thank you, Lord, for providing music. That's all I can say. I love it.
Were those questions
Jonathan knows as well. I'm sorry?
Those questions difficult?
No, in fact, yesterday we were, I was trying to put Jamira is our youngest granddaughter. And no matter what, nobody could, well, no, I can't say nobody because of course Shirley and Jonathan were not there. Of course, to put her to sleep. But yesterday she seemed very irritated and it was very difficult for Shirley to put her to sleep no matter what. And I held her and I looked at her and she started touching my face. And as I started singing, she started touching my mouth. And as I sang, she literally just fell off to sleep. And then Errol and I made our journey. And I says to Shirley, did she sleep? And Shirley says, Mom, did she ever? She slept. Babies love music. Don't be afraid to sing to your children, to your babies. It's very soothing. And babies understand music even from the womb. So don't be afraid to share music with them and use it to soothe them. Somebody muted me. Did you hear that? You can start rubbing their head and they start to fall asleep and sing to them. It helps. Maybe that was a cue for me to shut up. So I'm going to shut up.
Well, I got muted too. So, hey, it's fine. But yes, basically music can help you. And we have a biblical example of King Saul when he was depressed and David came with his harp and brightened the mood. Okay,
Absolutely.
so we have said so much about that, but we know that we need to find out what needs watering. Okay.
Yes.
So Jonathan, is there anything else that I need to say, or should we move over straight to the presentation?
We can go straight to the presentation.
Okay, so thank you. Everyone get your pen and paper out because there may be some quizzes at the end. I really don't know what Joan's going to do with you. She'll be led how she feels inspired, and she hopefully will have a challenge for us at the end. Okay, so tune in and learn together.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and thanks for joining the TTI show today. Like I've said before on many occasions, thank God for the fact that True Temperance International, they are holding programs such as this, because I know that many people have been helped by a lot of the information that has been presented so far. Also, I wanted to stress just a quick disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor. I am a herbal practitioner. And I used to work in the NHS, starting out as an auxiliary nurse. I am doing my doctorate in original medicine, not that that is going to, it needs to be said, but not that it is the one that actually takes control of me. I am a medical missionary evangelist, and I'm as passionate about the medical missionary work as I am about music, because the medical missionary work, for those of you who are here and understand, it is actually a very important work, because what it does, it helps to, it not only helps to humble us and keep us humble and keep our feet on the ground, but what it does, it helps people who need another way. I can't say alternative, because the original medicine is not alternative. It is the original, and everything else is the alternative. And it helps people to become whole and to be, by God's grace, restored to health. So a bit of a disclaimer, not a medical physician. Anything that I present in this presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. And you can get your notepad and pen, as Sharon has indicated, to make any notes, What I also want to say is, if you are under the care of a physician, you make sure that you continue under the care of the physician so that they can continue to manage you. So anything I say in here, I don't want you, I don't want it to be a ditch effort, running into your cupboards and etc. and throwing things away. No, that's not what it's about. It's just educational, because what we want to do is to show you that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God has not designed anything by accident. And so anything in the nutritional kingdom, the fruit and vegetable kingdom, anything like that, God placed it there for our use. Hippocrates said, let medicine be your food and food be your medicine. And that's exactly what it means. You choose the foods, you choose the nutrition that will actually help your condition, assist in your condition, so that it can restore your body back to health. So I'm going to talk about the kidneys function, how you look after them, what happens when things go wrong, nutrition, and herbs. That is what I'm actually going to talk about. So for those of you who are not aware, and maybe but there's always a chance for us to remind you. What is it? Repetition deepens the understanding. So the kidneys that I'm going to be talking about today is one of the 7 organs of elimination. So here you have the colon, here you have the bladder, here you have the lungs, here you have the skin, here is the liver, here is the kidney, and in the middle, the lymphatic system. So these are the 7 systems, 7 organs or 7 systems that God has given us, so the body can continue to cleanse itself as long as it is in the right condition, as long as it has the right foods, the right nutrition, the right fluids. These 7 systems can help your body to continue to heal itself. So today we're talking about the kidneys. So what are the kidneys? I'm going to show you. So everybody's kidneys. So you can see 2 fists, 2 clenched fists. And our kidneys in the human body is about 3 to 4 inches long. Your kidneys are the size of your fists. So the kidneys are 2 bean-shaped organs in the renal system. They help the body pass waste as urine, and they also help filter blood before sending it back to the heart. Did you hear that? That is very, very important for us to understand. So the kidneys help the body pass waste as urine. So your waste from the kidneys are actually your urine. Just like with your colon, the waste is the poo. So with the kidneys, the waste is the urine, and the kidneys help to filter blood before sending it back to the heart. So it's essential that the blood that is sent back to the heart does not have waste in it. So the kidneys perform many crucial functions, including maintaining overall fluid balance, regulating and filtering minerals from blood, filtering waste materials from food, medications, and toxic substances, creating hormones that help produce red blood cells, promote bone health, and regulate, what is that? Blood pressure. Remember a few sessions ago, I believe that we had something on hypertension. I think it was Lucille had presented on it. Hypertension, the silent killer. And so here you have the kidneys. The kidneys are part of the system that regulates our blood pressure. So your kidneys alone filter about 50 gallons of fluid a day in a 24-hour period. More than 8 quarts of digestive juices flow into the digestive tract. Much of this water is recycled over and over again by your kidneys, but about 2 to 4 quarts of water a day are lost through the urine, lungs, and perspiration. So for those of you who do a lot of speaking, public speaking, maybe you do a lot of training sessions, it's important to make sure that you have your water available. And the reason why we lose water through speaking as well as perspiration and as well as urine. So for this reason, if you do not keep drinking water, your kidneys cannot perform their function well. And what happens? Kidney disease results. So we don't want kidney disease. We do not want kidney disease. We want to make sure that we continue to drink our water. This is what the kidneys need. And that's why I said in the title, needs watering. So the kidneys constantly regulate, distribute, sort, and filter matter. So what the kidneys are doing, they're removing waste, they're removing toxins from the blood. Without this ability, the body cannot survive for long. It will become poisoned. And the other slide that I showed you, the previous slides, the kidney's function is to make sure it removes toxins and waste from the blood so that it can be sent back to the heart. So the kidneys also maintain the pH balance within the bloodstream. So in order for the kidneys to do this job properly, large amounts of water are required in a body that is in itself composed of 70% water. I believe it's 70 to 75% water. And let me say this, if our bodies are composed of 75% water, and I'd like to add the earth is composed of 75% water, God did not make any mistakes here. So make sure that we drink enough water so that our kidneys can do its job. At least 2 quarts a day to prevent dehydration. So with an adequate amount of fluids, a more alkaline state will prevail, which is the base of all good health. So like I said before, we have what? 2 kidneys, size of our fists. That's the size of our kidneys. The human kidney is about 3 to 4 inches long. We have 2 of them, and they are the size of our fist. So we have 2 kidneys on either side of the spine, as you can see here. Our kidneys sit on either side of the spine, approximately the size of a human fist, and they're located posterior to the back of your abdomen and below your rib cage. So your kidneys play several vital roles in maintaining your health. One of their most important jobs is to filter waste materials from the blood and expel them from the body as urine. So the kidneys also help control the levels of water and various essential minerals in the body. I just wanted to also add to you all listening that they are critical. They are critical. Your kidneys are critical in the production of vitamin D, red blood cells, and hormones. So the kidneys are not just there to expel urine. It actually produces vitamin D and red blood cells and hormones that regulate what? I'm going to say it again, blood pressure. Our kidneys regulate our blood pressure. So in addition, the kidneys have quite a number of hormonal functions. So they help to process calcium and magnesium. Listen, ladies, in women, this is done in connection with estrogen, The kidneys also help produce an enzyme called renin that is vital. That's the word, vital, critical, crucial for regulating blood pressure. So weak kidneys can sometimes be the root cause of blood pressure imbalances. So you'll find with people who suffer from high blood pressure, especially if they are on medication, the clinician, the physician, they will want to make sure that they have regular kidney function tests or urine tests, just to make sure that everything is working correctly with the kidneys. So I can hear some sound. If someone can please mute. Thank you very much. So let's move on. So if your doctor thinks your kidneys may not be working properly, you may need kidney function tests like I've mentioned before. And these are simple blood and urine tests that can identify problems with your kidneys. Now, I'm not going to go into the various tests that the doctor will do or perform on anyone that has kidney issues, because this presentation is more of an educational. So I'm not going to go into the science of what test does what and et cetera, et cetera. I know Dr. Louisa did a brilliant job last week when she went into the various tests last week. Dr. Louisa is a physician, and I will not be doing that. But I can say that if your doctor, even if you think there's something not quite right about my kidneys don't appear to be functioning very well, and I'm going to show you some of the things that may, some of the symptoms, so that you can know whether your kidneys are functioning properly. You may also need kidney function testing done if you have other conditions that can harm the kidneys, like I said, high blood pressure, but also diabetes. They can help doctors monitor these conditions. So diabetes and high blood pressure, your kidneys will need testing or monitoring. So symptoms of kidney problems, some of them are high blood pressure, blood in the urine, frequent urges to urinate, difficulty at beginning urination, painful urination, swelling of the hands and feet due to a buildup of fluid in the body. So if you find that your hands and your feet seem to be building up fluids, then you need to kind of get something checked out, get yourself checked out. So a single symptom may not mean something serious. However, when occurring simultaneously, these symptoms suggest that your kidneys are not working properly. Kidney function tests can help determine the reason. So symptoms of kidney problems continued. Kidney conditions can cause a range of symptoms. Maybe you have trouble sleeping, fatigue, inability to concentrate, dry, itchy skin, increased or decreased urination, blood in your urine, foamy urine, puffiness around the eyes. I remember when I did a training course in Switzerland with Maimon Wilson, I remember he said we must always use the human x-rays. And that is what we must do. We must learn to look at people, not stare them down, but just look at them and observe, because it's your eyes that can tell you what's going on. And he always said, use your human x-ray. So for instance, if you find that someone's eyes is very puffy, very, very baggy underneath, it's possible that they're retaining fluid. Equally, if you find that someone's feet are swollen, especially around the ankles, if their feet is swollen, again, it's an indication that the circulatory system isn't working efficiently enough, and also it's possible that the kidneys are not functioning as well as they could function. Reduced appetite and muscular cramps are other symptoms or conditions. So some of you may be familiar with urine color. You have urine color charts. And if you don't have this, sometimes I think it's quite useful to have it in your home, because, I always say that you yourself, you who is listening right now, you are the best doctor. You know exactly what's going on. When you go to the doctor's surgery and you sit in front of the doctor, the first thing they'll ask is, right, Joan, what can I do for you today? What's going on? How can I help you? So it's you who will know exactly how you're feeling, if you're feeling any pain, if you're feeling any discomfort, if you notice any swellings that wasn't there before. You are the best person first and foremost. So in your urine color, don't be afraid to always look back after you've had, after you've peed, always look back. There's nothing wrong with looking at the urine color. For men, they can see straight away as it's going into the toilet. For women, don't be afraid. Once you've finished, you look back and look at the color of your urine, because like I said before, you are the first one to see it anyway. So if your urine is clear, if it's pale yellow, that indicates that you're well hydrated. And so you want it to look something like this. You want your urine to look something like this, which is very good. It means that you're well hydrated. Now, if you start to go on to the darker, I mean, look at this one. This one's considered good. This one's considered fair. You know, when it gets to this color, please drink your water. Now then, if you start to go into the other urine colors, dark yellow or amber, you may be dehydrated. So try drinking more water and cutting down on dark sodas, tea or coffee. We don't promote sodas. We don't promote caffeinated drinks such as tea or coffee, but cut down on them if you notice that your urine is dark yellow or amber. Now then, if your urine is orange, this could be a sign of dehydration, or it might be a sign of bile in your bloodstream. Kidney disease doesn't typically cause this. So make sure that you drink your water. It's a sign of dehydration. If you find there's pink or red urine, there's a tint of it, a tint of red, maybe you've got blood in it, or maybe you've just forgotten that you had beetroot juice. Okay, it could also be caused by strawberries, but a quick urine test can tell the difference. Now, when I say a quick urine test, every home should have something in there that helps you to understand what is happening to your body. Like I said before, you are the first person that will know something isn't right. I don't feel right. My head hurts. My ankles are swollen. Why are my ankles swollen? Why all of a sudden my eyes has puffiness? You know, what's actually going on? And there is a simple urine test. So you could go online. I'm not going to promote anything here, but you could go online and look for a simple urine test. Look for a simple urine test, and that will tell you if anything's taking place with your urine. Something that you can purchase online. I know I have one. We always have one, which is very, very useful. If you're feeling that it's painful urination all of a sudden, if you just take your urine test, just put some urine into a pot. First one in the morning is the best. And then if you use the strip, then it will tell you what's going on with your urine. And that should put your mind at rest. It also tells you by indication when you should start maybe asking your doctor, you know, not sure if anything's going on here, but I did a simple test at home and I found this or I found that, etc. Now, if your urine is foamy with excess bubbles, it's a sign that it has likely got a lot of protein in it. So protein in your urine is a sign of kidney disease. And again, if you buy various strips, you know, simple urine test kits, that will also help you to understand what is going on with your kidneys. There is nothing wrong with it, not trying to scare anybody, but look, you know, look after your body the same way you look after your car. You know, some of you have prized possession cars. You know, you make sure that you don't forget that there's an MOT. I'll say, oh gosh, I must remember car, you know, the MOT is due on my car. The same thing with your body. Have some of these things so that you can give yourself a little MOT and make sure that you're not in, you know, not in a zone that you don't want to be in. So it's always good to maintain your body, and it's always good to understand what is taking place with your body. So make sure you have specific tools at home just to help you. But your eyes can be the best one. It's the human X-ray. Look at yourself in the mirror. Is there anything different? Are my eyes puffier than normal? Look down at your feet. Are my ankles more swollen than usual? So all of these things is an indication for you. So the color of your urine is a small window into your body's health. So it doesn't tell you much about the state of your kidney function until damages to the kidney has progressed. Still, urine color changes may be a warning sign of some issues. Look at your urine. Get used to looking at your urine. I know when I'm dehydrated because I look at the color of my urine. Try to get into the habit of doing that. So let's look at the causes of kidney failure. So kidney failure can be the result of several conditions or causes. According to the National Kidney Foundation, the two most common causes are high blood pressure and diabetes. High blood pressure and diabetes. And I know that we've had presentations on high blood pressure. We've had presentations, I believe, on diabetes. And what TTI has done, they put these presentations on so that you can get to understand how to manage, how to look after your body so that you don't have to suffer from too much high blood pressure and even type 2 diabetes. So people who are most at risk usually have one or more issues. So high blood pressure, diabetes, other conditions, other issues that can lead to your kidneys not functioning as well as you would like them to. Remember, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and I'm telling you, God has provided so many tools. He has provided nutrition. He has provided us with herbs that will help to keep our body functioning. The 7 organs of elimination functioning effectively enough so that we can be of use, not just to ourselves, but to others. So loss of blood flow to the kidneys, a sudden loss of blood flow to your kidneys can prompt kidney failure. So some conditions that cause loss of blood flow to the kidneys include a heart attack, heart disease, scarring of the liver or liver failure, dehydration, severe burns, allergic reactions, severe infection such as sepsis, high blood pressure, and anti-inflammatory medications can also limit blood flow. Now, hold on here. Joan Cornwall is not saying, she's not saying stop all types of high blood pressure and anti-inflammatory medications. That is not what I said. But it can limit the blood flow, some of them. And I always say this, and I think I've said this before, if you are on medication for long periods of time, it is always useful to get your medications reviewed by your doctor. You may have been watching TTI for a long time, and you may have learned quite a lot as to how to look after this wonderful machinery that God has given you. And you may be feeling a whole lot better in yourself. You may find that when you take your blood pressure at home, it's not as high as it used to be. And you just feel good in yourself. You don't feel as bad as you used to. There's nothing wrong with going to your GP or booking an appointment. And I'm hoping that you're still, you're able to. There's nothing wrong with saying to the nurse practitioner at the GP surgery, is it okay for me to come in for a medication review? In fact, I believe, no, don't go to the pharmacist because they will not be able to go so invasively into your history. But your general practitioner, there's nothing wrong with saying to them, I'm feeling a whole lot better now. When I do my diabetes test at home, when I take my blood pressure at home, I find my blood pressure is not as high. I see that my blood sugar is regulating quite well. Is it possible for you to review my medication? Do I really still need to be on all of this? And it's nice to have that conversation with your general practitioner. I always say that to people. It's important for you to, because if you are eating the right fruits and vegetables and legumes and the nuts and the seeds, you've introduced more greens, your salads, you started to have more smoothies, you're going for longer walks, you are breathing in more fresh air, you're drinking a lot more water, then there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm introducing quite a number of things into my lifestyle. Let me go and have that MOT check. I wonder if I should continue on all of this medication, or maybe the GP will say, let's do a blood test. Let's see what's going on. And then they come back to you and say, Joan, it looks as if, you're doing something right in your life, whatever you're doing, continue doing it. I don't think you need to be on this amount of milligrams of medication anymore, simply because it looks as if something is regulating somewhere. So let's watch it for another 3 to 6 months. I'm going to remove this away from your plethora of medication, and let's see what happens. Keep me informed. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Take control of your health. This is why I always say, take control of your own health, your own body. So the kidneys are between 4 and 5 inches long, like I said before, the size of a human fist. And if you look at it, that's about 3-4 inches. long in the average adult and contain an estimated 1 million filtering units called nephrons. The kidneys play a vital role in processing the blood, which the heart pumps before it goes into general circulation. Every minute, between 1.2 and 1.3 liters of blood flows through the kidneys, which is about 1/5 of all the blood pumped from the heart. So blood is pumped from the heart into your kidneys through the renal artery, which branches directly from the abdominal aorta, a section of the body's main artery. So the ureters are 2 tubes that carry urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. The ends of each tube act as valves by closing when the bladder is full and preventing backflow of urine. There's your kidneys, ureters into the bladder. So in men, the ureters are close to the seminal vesicles and near the prostate gland. Each ureter contains 3 layers of mucus lining, a muscular middle layer, and fibrous outer layer. So the muscular layer helps move the urine via peristalsis, which are the muscular contractions, the contractions you feel when you're ready to go for a pee. The rate and strength of these muscular contractions increase the more urine there is. So, you know, you feel the urge to go to pee, but if there's a lot of urine in your bladder and you feel that urge, there's more pressure, that's exactly what it's talking about. You've got that urge to pee out that waste, which is the urine. So the adrenal glands, and these are the adrenal glands. They look like little hats, little pointed hats sitting on top of your kidneys. So the adrenal glands are found just above each of the kidneys and are in effect part and parcel of kidney function. So when our adrenals are low and exhausted, our whole being becomes depressed in a variety of ways. Let me say that again. When our adrenals, which are these, when our adrenals are low and exhausted, our whole being becomes depressed in a variety of ways. Severe mental dysfunction can be attributed to their depletion, and many diseases and conditions, from allergies to chronic illness, can have their roots in adrenal dysfunction. Their depletion can be either inherited or produced by other factors. So let's go on. I've mentioned all of that. Now I'm going to talk about the restoration. I'm going to talk about the restoration. Too little salt can be as harmful to the kidneys as too much is. Excessive sodium causes the body to store too much water. Choose and use a variety of salts, from rock salt to sea salt. Consume 2 to 4 quarts of water daily according to your size and your body weight. So drinking water, listen to this, drinking water, any water, is vital. Tap water is the least advisable, but even if you're looking for water and all you have is tap water with all its nitrates and chlorine and so on, it's better than no water. Just remember that. It is actually better than no water at all. And I know when I was doing my herbal practitioner course, that is exactly what the tutor said. Tap water is better than no water. However, spring water or filtered water, even distilled water, is still the best. But look, if you don't have any water to hand but tap water, not that I'm encouraging you, I'm not encouraging you to go home now or go into your kitchen and just run tap water, because in some buildings, I think we talked about this when we talked about water being the elixir of life many moons ago on TTI. We said that some buildings, especially if you live in large apartment buildings, you'll find, and then certain parts of the countries, you'll find that water is circulated through the system. So in that case, tap water is not actually the best. Probably boil it. I would say boil it. But like I said, spring water, filtered water, distilled water, the absolute best. But if all you have to hand is tap water. In an emergency, it's still water. Your kidneys need it. Remember what I said, your kidneys will need that water. And what we also find is if we have to travel on a long journey, you'll find that we're more dehydrated than usual. And the reason why is, especially as women, you know, if we're going on a long journey, we tend not to drink as much water, simply because we know that we'll have to stop to pee. It's not comfortable stopping at the roadside, and you may be many junctions away from the nearest facility. With men, it's easier because really, you know, they just have to have a spare bottle somewhere in the car or the van or wherever they are. And it's easier for them because they can stop at the roadside and it's fine. But with women, you know, we have to go into very, you know, various positions to be able to pee comfortably. And so many of us would say, you know something, I don't want to drink my water, you know, the water I'm supposed to, my water quota today. I'll wait until I get to the end of the journey, and then I will have my water. Try not to hold your water in. It doesn't help your body, because what happens is you can get infection. In some cases, if you hold your urine far too long, then the urine starts to go back into your kidneys. You don't want that either. You don't want urine infection, and you certainly do not want kidney infection. Believe you me, your body will tell you about it if that is the case. Try to always pee. The same way you get that peristalsis, that urge to go and poo and you know, and to move your bowels, is the same way when you get that urge, try to go and find somewhere to get out that waste. Remember, urine is waste. Your kidneys don't want it. It's done all of that work for you. It's filtered all of the waste out of the bloodstream, and then it's created urine so that you can pee it out. You know, the poor kidneys are going to say, what's going on with Joan? I've done all of this wonderful work and she's still holding on to it, and I don't want it back. So try to get rid of the urine as soon as you get the urge. So we have something called parsley and nori sweet seaweed. You can put these in your salads, in your soups and stews, provide a nice year addition. While blackberries, raspberries, cranberries, celery, watermelon and watercress are good summer choices. So whole barley and sweet corn in soups and stews could be used in the autumn and winter. And this is about looking after your kidneys. Parsley, we know that parsley is the kidney's friend. I know that many times, I think they have, what's it called? It's not kidney. I'm trying to remember what it is, but there is a special week that they have where they're sending out all of this information on Facebook, on social media, where they say parsley is your friend. Make parsley soup. You can make parsley drinks. You can make a tea with parsley, all of those things. Excellent for the kidneys. And remember, you can always put the parsley and nori seaweed in your salads and your soups and your stews. Remember our friends, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries is excellent too. Cranberries, celery, watermelon, my favorite in the summer. I could just eat watermelon for lunch and that will do me fine. I absolutely love watermelon. And in the winter, you can use whole barley and sweet corn in your soups and stews for the autumn and the winter. So then we come on to, I'm sure you all recognize this, TTI did a demonstration on some of the herbs, and I know that my colleague Marcia Mendoza did something, I think it was called the CBD, burdock, dandelion, and it's gone from my memory. If someone could put it in the chat and remind me. But the safest herb, which cannot harm the kidneys, and yet helps shed excess water in the body, is the dandelion. I'm sure you are surprised by this, because we tend to associate dandelion with the liver, cleaning out the blood, etc. But it is the safest herb. Dr. Christopher puts it this way: it's the safest diuretic in the botanical kingdom. It also has the ability to aid the work of the liver. So others in combination include parsley root, marshmallow root, corn silk, and bearberry leaf. So those are the things that you can use in combination with the dandelion, one of the safest diuretic in the botanical kingdom. So cold, damp, too little or too much water, wintry weather and fear can negate the effectiveness and balance of the kidneys. In other terms, it can stop your kidneys from functioning properly. Your environment and lifestyle and the climate in which you live can all make a difference depending on your body structure. I always say to women, especially young women, please, please, please keep your kidneys covered. Cover your back when you go out, especially when it's cold. Your kidneys do not like it. Your kidneys certainly don't like it, and you'll chill the kidneys. So make sure you keep your body warm. It's about making sure you wear the proper clothing in the winter. Don't try to be a hero and don't try to look beautiful when you go out into the winter weather and then you want to put on lovely fashion and you have not covered your not just your extremities, but also your kidneys. What you must remember is if you go out and you have not clothed yourself properly, this is what can happen. So if your arms are not covered appropriately, your legs are not, your back isn't, the blood is going to flow from your heart and try to warm up those areas, and your kidney's going to miss out. So in order for perfect circulation, make sure that you cover your body properly, especially in the winter months. Cover them so that your blood flow can work beautifully around your body, just ticking along beautifully around your body. The kidneys and the urinary system work hardest or stagnate in extremes of weather, either hot or cold. And I'm sure you'll know why in the hot weather, because you perspire more. So you need to replace water more. So you increase your water intake so that you can keep your kidneys functioning properly. And I've just explained what it means when you do not cover yourself appropriately and you leave your kidneys exposed. So in winter, wrap up well and never let your kidneys become chilled. Have you heard me? Please, 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 in the winter, we're in the throngs of winter right now. Make sure you wrap up your body well, and please make sure that your kidneys do not become chilled. So if your kidneys ever feel inflamed or you suffer from genitourinary problems, infections that is, applying a castor oil pack over them will bring instant relief. And it is a warm castor oil pack. You can place it over your kidneys and it will bring instant relief. Your kidneys love heat. Your kidneys love heat. It loves the circulation, and that is what will happen. You could also use charcoal poultice. So making an activated charcoal poultice and applying it to your back on the kidney area and warming with an infrared lamp also helps to relieve inflammation and discomfort. I know that those of us, even in our own practices, and I know even at Manor House, that is exactly what we do. We actually allow clients to lie on their front, and then we apply a castor oil pack or charcoal poultice on the kidney area with the infrared lamp to bring relief to the kidneys, especially for those who have kidney issues. And I've tried this. I tried this on someone months ago. I would say it's about a year or two now. And that person had a lot of kidney issues. They kept having to have antibiotics because they kept developing infections. And so I had put this person on a course of herbal remedies, excellent herbs that will actually help to alleviate or get rid of the infection and help alleviate the swelling, the inflammation. And all they did was they had the infrared lamp or charcoal poultice on their back with infrared lamp. You could also use, if you don't have the use of an infrared lamp, you could use a hot water bottle. That is just as effective. Hot water bottles are amazing. Every home should have a hot water bottle. So if you do not have access to an infrared lamp, the next best thing is a hot water bottle. Going back to this person who had terrible kidney infections, they have done excellently, very, very well. They couldn't believe how such a simple technique could help them. Absolutely. God's remedies are simple. He's given us the simple methods to help mankind, Why should we put them aside? Why don't we just use them, especially in our home? So if you have inflamed, weakened kidneys, make a soup of 70% zucchini. That zucchini is the American name for courgettes. And here's the courgettes. So make a soup of 70% courgettes. I'm speaking to I'm actually speaking to a mixed audience. I must remember, Joan. So zucchini for you who are Americans, and courgettes for those of you who are British. And 30% potatoes. Carrots, lettuce, and cabbage are also very helpful. So you know what I would do? I would put the courgettes, potatoes, carrots, lettuce, and cabbage and make a lovely broth. Now then, what do you notice with the courgettes? I know you're all on mute, but you know what I noticed with the courgettes? They're slightly curved and they've got this on. Could this be the adrenal glands? Isn't God amazing? So courgettes are our friends. Now, I'm not going to tell you all now to just live off courgettes. That's not what I'm saying. But I'd like you to know that courgettes is something that you can use if you have weakened kidneys, and you could make a soup with it along with the potato. So I don't want to hear people say they juiced courgettes. They made a courgette on toast. They made courgette smoothie or anything like that. That is not what I'm saying, because we have to do everything in moderation. Let's do everything in moderation. Make the soup when you need to make the soup, when your kidneys are inflamed. Or if you want to, you could use it as a maintenance through the winter so that you can ensure that your kidneys are working and functioning well. But God is amazing. He has given us so many fruits, like the grapefruit, is similar to our skin and the pores, including the lemons. You can see the pores on the skin. It's the same way it's done with courgettes and many other fruits, even the kidney beans, simple kidney beans. Try to get the ones not in the tin because it's going to be full of salt. Try to get your kidney beans and use kidney beans in your diet, because kidney beans are definitely for the kidneys. Now then, many of you may see oxalic acid rich, which are oxalates. These foods must be consumed in low amounts or avoided by those who are prone to kidney problems, as they are known to help create kidney stones. But your GP will be the one who will be able to explain this more. We're not saying you can't have any oxalic rich foods. What we are saying, you have it in moderation, only if you already have kidney problems or you are prone. It's a naturally occurring compound in plants. Various foods high in oxalates are rich in many nutrients and is beneficial to your health. So the benefits outweigh the risk of oxalic foods, but there are some foods that I can suggest that you can have if you are if you've got kidney issues. You've got kale, bok choy, you've got broccoli, you've got walnuts, you've got pumpkin and sunflower seeds, and I mentioned the kidney beans. You can use blueberries and blackberries and dried figs. All of these things we've mentioned on TTI many, many times. And these are the types of food that you can actually use should you have kidney issues or you want to reduce the amount of oxalic rich foods in your diet. So corn silk, absolutely amazing. If you are blessed enough, and I know we've got people from the Caribbean, we've got people from America, from Africa on this platform. If you are blessed enough to have a naturally growing corn in your vicinity, please do not throw away what you see as hairs, which is on the inside and covers your corn. Do not throw it away because it's corn silk. And if you throw it away, you're going to have to pay money to get it back online. while you have it naturally. So corn silk, this is the best, listen to this. This is the best single herb for increasing urine flow, thus helping to eliminate kidney and bladder problems. I'm going to say it again. So for those of you who are blessed enough to be around good corn, I'm talking about the corn that's still in the skin. You know, in Britain, we don't know where our corn came from. We just don't know. You know, it's a sad thing, but it's the truth. It's just in these pretty little packets, already cut into quarters. And that's what we've got. We don't have no hairs. We don't know where it's come from. I mean, maybe we do know, you know, but we don't know where our corn has come from. We're not blessed enough to have access to corn in the actual skin. So if you are blessed enough to have that corn, maybe sometimes I believe some of the stores will have them in their stores for you to buy in the summertime. But in Britain, we're not as blessed as you who may have access to corn. Actually, maybe those who have allotments, I forgot. There are people in Britain who have allotments and they grow their own corn. So there you go. There you go. So don't throw away the hairs. Don't throw away the corn silk, because it is the best single herb for increasing urine flow, thus helping to eliminate kidney and bladder problems. Get your corn silk. Internally, it is used for bedwetting, chronic cystitis, inflammation of kidneys and bladder, kidney stones, prostatitis, that's the prostate, excess uric acid, and urine retention. Wow, isn't that amazing? Corn silk. Corn silk is your friend. So if you've got access to it in the countries I've mentioned, you're living in the Caribbean, you're in Africa, in America, in South America, wherever you are watching this in the world, don't throw away your corn silk. Do not look at it as rubbish. That should be thrown out with the trash of the skin. It is your medicine. What you do, you'll pull away the corn silk and you will place it on a tray. Maybe you put the paper towel on a tray, place the corn silk on the tray and leave it to dry. Now, some corn silk, as it dries, it starts to get darker in color. There's nothing wrong with that. When it's dry, and I mean dry, in fact, what you could do is put it in a brown paper bag. You can put it in a brown paper bag. So you don't have to put it on the towel, put it in a brown paper bag, pierce a couple of holes in the brown paper bag, put it on top of the kitchen cupboard and leave it to dry, and it will dry out. That is your corn silk, the one that you can use for your kidney and bladder problems. Don't throw it away. Or if you throw it away, you can always purchase it online. I remember when a while back when I went to Trinidad with Errol, my husband, and when we went into the town center, a small town center, and we saw two men, and they had a big truck. You know how it is in the Caribbean when they're selling their stuff out of the trucks. I think it's fantastic. It's amazing. I'd love to see that in Britain. But hey, so they were selling the corn. They had loads and loads of corn from their property, what they've grown, and they were selling it. And what was intriguing to me is that, maybe I should say horrifying, is they took the corn and they were stripping it with the silk, stripping it, and they were just maintaining the actual corn itself, putting them in clear bags to sell, and then they were throwing the trash of the corn into a black bag. So I went up to them and I said to them, "What are you doing with the black bag?" "Oh, we're going to throw it in the garbage. It's just garbage. It's the trash." And I said to them, "It's not trash. It's actually medicine." And they're like, pardon me? And I said, "It's like medicine." So I gave a little bit of medical missionary training to these two guys. Believe you me, they could not believe what I was saying to them. "Oh, and I have a relative who has kidney problem. I have another relative who have issues with urine and infection, blah, 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 blah." And that's what they were saying. And they could not believe it. So that little lesson taught them that what they had was medicine. And do you know what they did? They said, "Well, do you want it? Do you want it?" And I says, "Yeah, I'd love it." And what they did for me, they took out all of the corn silk and they put it in a clear, a lot. They gave me a lot, a whole heap. And then, of course, I advised them that they could use it for their friends. who had kidney issues. They gave me a whole bag, and I took it, went back to my sister-in-law's, and then I had trays and I was drying out the corn silk. And let me tell you something, the smell of it, I don't know if the smell is it's different in our country, but my goodness, the smell was absolutely delightful. And so what I did was dry it, and I put it in clear bags to take back to England. And somebody said to me, so Joan, how are you going to get through past customs with all of these with these bags of corn silk? And I just says, well, you know, I don't know. The Lord will help me. And he did. It was in my suitcase. Nobody said anything. And I went through customs, and I had beautiful, beautiful organic corn silk. It's your medicine. It's your medicine. It is a good remedy for all inflammatory conditions of the urethra, the bladder, prostate, and kidney. It can remove gravel from the kidneys. Listen to this. Bladder and prostate. So it can remove gravel from the kidneys, bladder, and prostate. It helps the aged when their urine is scanty and has heavy sediment. Can you believe that one thing that God has provided for us that we thought was actual trash is not trash? It is actual medicine, is corn silk. So don't throw away your corn silk. Look after it. If in the summer in Britain, when we get the corn, make sure that when we pull away the sleeve, we keep the corn silk, dry it, and keep it as your medicine for yourself and your family. So keep the urinary system healthy via simple, supportive, and detoxification methods in order to deflect cystitis, water retention, and other problems. Detoxing your body is very, very important, everyone. We can detox it through the foods we eat. We can detox it through fasting. We can detox it through specific juices that we use or drink or make and drink. We can detox it through specific herbs, and we can detox it through good old water. Make sure you keep your urinary system healthy via simple, supportive, and detoxification methods. And I know my colleagues Sonia and Louise are on, and they're going to be speaking to helping me to answer some of the questions that you may have. And as you know, some of you know that there is a detox program that is going to be taking place. Now, this isn't a plug for it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but we encourage people to do detox at least once a year. And I've heard many, many testimonies from people, even from Pastor Davis, who has run detox programs, and the testimonies that has come out of that, the testimonies that has come out of the one that Louise is going to be running. Amazing testimonies. In fact, testimonies coming from detox when we do it at Manor House. It's so important for us to run detoxes on ourselves at least once a year, so we can help the body to move in the right direction. They normally say summer and winter are the best times to do detoxes. You can do one in the summer, get ready for the summer, do one in the winter. So restoration, I call it restoration. I can't call it treatment. I can't call it treatment. The picture there says treatment, but I'm calling it restoring your body, helping to restore your body with some of what I've just said, helping to restore your body and to help it to do its work, the kidneys, etc. Eat 75% raw foods, including garlic, parsley, potatoes, celery, cucumbers, and bananas. Green vegetables are especially important. Stop eating meat. Now, if some of you on here are meat eaters, I am not telling you to stop eating meat and then you stop and then you're not eating anything else, because there is always progression. It's progressive. It's progressive. I used to eat meat. Me and my husband used to eat meat many moons ago. We don't. And we feel far better for it. It doesn't weigh the system down. It doesn't, because your system has to work extra hard. I'm telling you, your system has to work extra hard to break down meat. So stop eating meat. An excess of protein is part of your problem. And meat also has a variety of waste products, plus bacteria, impurities, and uric acid. Avoid dairy products except yogurt. Do not eat chocolate or cocoa. Drink 6 to 8 ounces of distilled water every hour. And I'm talking about restoring your kidneys. your kidney function. Watermelon and pumpkin seeds seem to help the kidneys, although the reason is not known. Do we need to know why the sky is blue? Of course not. So maybe we don't know. We don't know why watermelon and pumpkin seeds seem to help the kidneys. We don't know why the sky is blue. We don't know why the sun is yellow. Just take it. Corn silk tea is the best single herb for increasing urine flow. We've just talked about corn silk and restoring the kidneys. I know many people didn't know this, but absolutely, corn silk is your friend. Watermelon seed tea and celery and parsley seeds are also diuretic in function. So the way you can prepare that, the seeds, is to put on a pot of water in a small pan, and then you bring it to the boil, put your seeds in and let it simmer. And this way, some of the excellent properties from those things will be able to come out into the water. Cranberries help acidify the urine, destroy bacteria, and restore the bladder. This is why when people suffer from urinary tract infections and bladder and kidney issues, many of us as medical missionaries, and even if not medical missionaries, health physicians, etc., health practitioners, nutritionists, may say cranberries because they help to acidify the urine and destroy bacteria and restore the bladder. Do not eat too much potassium or phosphorus. For this reason, avoid beetroot greens, spinach, rhubarb, and Swiss chard. And that is if you have kidney issues, okay? So we're not telling you to stop completely, don't eat it at all. We're saying to avoid it, but if you have it, it's got to be in very small amounts. Everything is done temperately. Avoid it if you have serious kidney issues. These things that I've just mentioned: beetroot greens, spinach, rhubarb, and Swiss chard. So, exercise and fresh air. Two of the 8 laws of health. You've heard what TTI have been saying for a number of months. Exercise and fresh air, part of the 8 laws of health. Those who do not use their limbs every day will realize a weakness where they do attempt to exercise. The veins and muscles are not in a condition to perform their work and keep all the living machinery in healthful action. Each organ in the system is doing its part. So the limbs will strengthen with use. Moderate exercise every day will impart strength to the muscles, which without exercise become flabby and enfeebled. By active exercise in the open air, it says once a day, every other day, when the sun comes back out after 3 months in lockdown. It says by active exercise in the open air every day, the liver, kidneys, and lungs also will be strengthened to perform their work. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope that you have got a lot of information out of it. I certainly have. I've enjoyed presenting it to you. And now I am ready to take questions from the audience. Louise, Sonia, I'm asking you to be on hand. Where there's anything nutritionally speaking, Sonia is going to speak to that. Louise is going to also help where there are questions on, or help me where there are specific questions on the kidneys. And if Lucille is still there, I'm sure Lucille will be able to answer questions too. So don't just leave it to me. We do have people who have knowledge on the platform who will be able to help you. Thanks for listening. So over to you, Sharon.
Thank you so much, Joan. Sorry, I'm just trying to change my lighting because I'm a bit reflective right now.
Yeah, you've got to, it looks as if You're the sunshine there.
No, I know. Sorry, just trying to. Well, okay, just stop there and just make it a bit dimmer.
No, it's all right because we can.
No,
still
I'm
see.
telling Edgar.
Oh, I see.
Rolling it. Oh, okay. Sorry
Yeah,
about.
I'm seeing. Yeah.
Okay, just make it dimmer, please. Thank you. All right. That's it. Right. So, sorry about that technical glitch there, everybody. We all have it. So, thank you so much, Joan, letting us know about our need for water in our body, our need for our kidneys, our need for the herbs that God has provided for us. And yes, I can see you're drinking yours. And actually, what you said about corn silk, that was one of our homework questions. If those of you who are listening and had tuned in last year, I don't remember which week it was, but that was one of the questions and you answered the homework. So for those of you who did the homework, well done. I'm not testing you. And for those of you who didn't, you have the answers now. Okay, so you know how good corn silk is.
Oh my gosh, it's a precious commodity. If you can get corn silk, get it. If you can get your hands on it, have it. You know, I talked about Trinidad, right? And the corn silk that lasted me for about 18 months, if not 2 years, because once it's dried, once you dry your herbs, they last for 3 years in the dry state. It's excellent. Or more.
3 years.
Yeah, I said 3 years. It does.
Oh.
It does, because it becomes more. It's like it shrinks into itself and dries, and it keeps all the nutrients inside. It doesn't break down, nothing. So if you keep it dry, if you keep your herbs dry, and you store it in a dry place, not damp, your herbs will serve you well. I promise you that.
Okay.
I think I had it for 2 years, and the smell is very different. Very, very different. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And you've answered some of the questions. I'm not sure if there's any on YouTube. So for those of you who are on YouTube, we will be checking to see what questions you've put there, but there have been quite a few. And
thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm looking at the messages now. Thank you.
The first one I saw on here was to do with the potato. I'm not sure if there was one before. When you spoke about the soup, and someone asked, can you use sweet potato? Because you had the courgette and potato.
If you're diabetic, you can use sweet potato instead of the white potato. Because the white potato has diabetics. It's known that white potatoes is not as good for diabetics as it is for anyone else. So if you're diabetic, I would suggest you use the sweet potatoes. And I'm talking about the orange one, you know, the reddish one. And with regards to the potatoes in your soup, you can use Irish potato, you know, any white potato, you can use it in the soup. And I think I mentioned also you can put cabbage in it, carrots in it, celery in it, make a lovely broth and drink it. We're still in winter. So there's nothing wrong with making the soup and drinking it, especially if you have issues with inflamed kidneys. Yeah.
That's a great one you can take to work as well for your lunch.
It's an excellent one you can take to work. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right then, someone did mention, this wasn't directly related to your presentation, but it was of slides earlier. They were asking about the oils, the olive oil, and no, there is no salt in the oil. The response is in the chat. So if you wish, you can look back and see the message there in the chat from Pastor Davis.
And I'm not plugging it or anything like that, but I have to say that we have used the olive oil, and you tend not to drink olive oil, but just having 1 teaspoon of that, it's absolutely amazing. The taste, you know that it's not processed.
Yeah,
you know it's not processed. Yeah.
Thank you, Joan. So have a look. I believe it was Angela. Just have a look back in the chat. You will see the full explanation in response to your question. Okay, so let's just see what other questions we have. Most corn, this is a statement, is GMO because of Monsanto.
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 Yeah, these are the people that these are the people that have bought out the seeds in the seed industry, and they're forcing people to move on to seeds that just grow once, and then you can't retrieve the seeds, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
So it's GMO.
Yeah, but we won't say too much about Monsanto.
No, we're not. No, we're not. But that's why I'm saying, if you're able to, and you've got access to an allotment, I know Jonathan and Shirley, they've got an allotment. It's an amazing allotment. They grow food there. And if you have access to a little patch of garden, especially if you're in the Caribbean, in America, in South America, wherever you are in the world, where you have the conditions to grow corn, grow it. And when you harvest it, keep your corn silk, because it is medicine. Yeah, I understand what the person said. If you find that the corn is already in pretty little packets in the supermarket, the chances are that's not the corn that you'd want to consume, because
Right, so there was another question. There's a few still to do with the corn silk. Oh, and you said,
everyone's really into this corn silk. Oh my goodness, I think it's fantastic. I'm excited. That they're excited. One thing.
That's because it sounds so exotic. You think, oh, corn silk, and then you just think, you mean it's that thing that I throw away all the time?
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna make a confession. You remember when I said how am I going to bring it from Trinidad, and somebody says, so Joan, how are you going to get all this corn silk over to England? Supposing they ask you what it is, and I just said, oh, it's hair I bought in Trinidad.
You cannot say that. I mean,
I didn't have to say it though. Praise the Lord.
Corn hair.
Praise the Lord. Because
hair from the corn. Right, okay. No. This is recorded live on YouTube. Be careful. Okay. Right. So someone says, how long would you use the corn silk for medicine? Or how long would you use the corn silk medicine for?
Well, what people don't understand is we should treat herbs the same way we treat medication given by the doctors. Okay. So if we say use corn silk, like for this person who had a particular problem, I told them to use it for 10 days and come off it. You're safe to do that with herbs. But if you just say, it's good for my kidneys, it's good because actually corn silk is excellent for high blood pressure as well. If you say to someone, corn silk is great, and that's all the tea they have, it's not doing the body any good. Because what we have to remember, herbs are adaptogens. And when you give herbs as part of a treatment, it's only meant to be taken for a short while because your body needs it, but not continuously forever in a day. So I would say 10 days on, use your corn silk, make it into a tea. And if you find that your symptoms have improved, that is perfectly fine. You can come off it even before the 10 days. I know people that will take herbs and then say, my goodness, after using it for 2-3 days, I'm starting to feel the effects of it, but you can continue taking it for the 10 days if you wish. There's nothing wrong with that, but just make sure that we remember that everything in moderation. Don't go crazy over corn silk. Please don't go crazy over corn silk, and that's all you're going to have. You go into your cupboards, ditch all your medicine and just take corn silk. Do not do that. I'm begging you. What you do, you can take your medication and you can still have the corn silk as a tea. And this is the way it helps your kidneys, because if you are, like I said before, if you're starting to feel a lot better, then go to your GP and says, I've been taking corn silk tea. I'm starting to feel a lot better. I'm not getting that cramping feeling in my kidneys. My urine smells a lot better. My urine's a lot clearer. Can you just review the medication and see what's happening? And then they'll just do the test and everything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So don't ditch your medication and take corn silk. You can take corn silk along with your medication. It is amazing because it's just a simple herb, like drinking peppermint tea.
Thanks, Joan. So you've answered the next question, how to use it for medicinal purposes as a tea. Now,
yes. use it as a tea. You can actually take the corn silk and you can steep it. So if you have one of those devices where you can put the corn silk at the bottom and then you press it down and you fill it with water and just leave it there until just leave it there for a few minutes, and then you can pour it, strain and drink it and sip it.
In a teapot.
Yeah, put it in a teapot even, yeah. Many people don't have teapots anymore, Sharon, I'm sorry, but
no, I don't actually. But yeah, percolator, I think maybe you was thinking of, I'm not sure.
That's the one, percolator. Yeah, you can use it for your herbs actually, not for coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we use. It's
now, on one of your slides, Joan, you mentioned something about not having cocoa. So someone's asking, what's wrong with cocoa?
Contains cocoa. People don't realize that chocolate and cocoa contains an element, I believe. Now, this is where Sonia or Louise will come in, or Lucille, caffeine. Am I correct? So it's treated as if you're drinking coffee, caffeinated sodas, caffeinated teas and caffeinated coffees. So there are some chocolates that, there are chocolates that will contain elements of caffeine, and that's why I don't eat cocoa at all.
Louise is nodding her head. So those of you
Yes,
who
Louise.
can't hear, or sorry, can't see, because you're not going to hear somebody nodding their head, you will see.
Yes, Sonia and Louise, they're here.
Louise is nodding her head. So is there anything you need to add to that answer?
Anyone want to add to that, Sonia or Louise?
No.
Just want to also add, thank you, Joan, for the excellent presentation as usual. Yeah, so in response to the cocoa, it does have caffeine, just like, coffee and all those stimulants, and they cause more stress to the body as well. Mm-hmm. So we want to be careful of these adding more stress. And of course, cocoa has the caffeine in it. So be mindful of that. It's just like anyone who's actually drinking coffee or sodas, like Coca-Colas and those, you want to stop drinking or consuming those because it's adding extra stress to the body. Keep you up at night as well, interrupt your sleep, interrupt the circadian rhythm and all that. So be mindful of that.
So we would also add the caffeinated teas to that as well. So when we say drink your corn silk tea, that's not like your
white tea or black tea or the English tea.
Some of the green teas have
green teas as well.
When it's your tea, as in your nettle tea, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, that's different. Yes, but green tea, as in green tea, has caffeine as well. Be mindful of those.
Okay, Louise, you're unmuted. Did you want to add or no? Okay, Jonathan, is there another question that's coming up, please? You're muted.
Yes, there is one. Is there a kidney detox that could be given? And follow on from that. She said, yes, you are right, correct, Joan. Carob is a good substitute for
it is
coffee. Chocolate.
For chocolate. Carob is a very good substitute for chocolate. And I know that most of us who miss the chocolate, the carob has become our friend in some cases. We make some you can make some lovely cakes and also drinks with the carob. Yeah, so that's a very good replacement.
I think Joan covered quite a lot in terms of a kidney detox. Obviously, there's the detox program that's been run with Louise, Joan, Dr. Louisa, and Sonia. Am I correct?
Yeah, a detox.
There's a lot about drinking water.
Yeah, detox, water detoxes you. But you'll say, I'm gonna, you never say, something. I think today I'm gonna detox my tongue or something. Your whole body is connected. A detox is a detox. And so what happens is when you have a detox, you are, as Sonia said, you're taking pressure off the other organs. but all of the 7 organs work simultaneously and they all work together. That is what a detox is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay to eat?
Sorry, are you then saying dark chocolate is not good?
Dark chocolate?
Yeah.
Or is that one of the questions?
It is.
Is dark chocolate good? Sonia or Louise, because I'm not sure. I don't know how the chocolate is made. What I'm trying to say is chocolate contains caffeine, and a good replacement for that is the carob. All chocolates, I believe, contains an element of caffeine because it's that feel-good factor. You know, when you see commercials, you know, for those who see commercials and they're eating chocolate, have you ever seen when they bite into the chocolate? You know, and it's like it's supposed to be something that lifts you to the heavens and all of that. Well, it's the caffeine element that they're actually advertising in the chocolate. A chocolate that doesn't give you that pick me up, you know, I feel like having a piece of chocolate, you know, all those things, or chocolate cake and all of those things containing anything that contains caffeine. It's time for a cuppa. You know, everything that actually, it's all pick-me-ups. These are what they are. They're just pick-me-ups. And as long as it's chocolate, even dark, I think they call them black chocolate. There are some things that are called black chocolate, if I'm not mistaken, contains caffeine. So the best thing is to move to an alternative chocolate, which is carob.
Question. When I drink a lot of water, I go to the toilet quite frequently. Does that mean my body need all this water?
No, well, so what it means is your body's not used to that much water. That's all it means. So if you find that,
deal with that?
Okay, so when you're drinking water, make sure that you have so this is my glass, and it actually tells me how much water I need to drink. So I will need to fill this twice to get my 1,500 mils of water, or 2,000 mils of water. So if you're gulping water, if you're gulping it, trying to get this down, it's not doing your body any good because you're putting pressure on your kidneys. So it's always best to sip your water as you go along. So so for instance, every 15 minutes, you could just do this.
Let's all do it together.
And take two mouthfuls of water every 15 minutes, or you drink water. You take some water once an hour. If you put yourself on a timer, and you'll find you'll get to your quota of water far better. Yes, you will go to the toilet more often, and I find that I gotta go to the toilet when I'm having my water, simply because your body's not used to it. And you know, when your body starts to get used to that water going in, it will stay there. You will not have to keep going to the toilet as often as possible. It's because your kidneys are, what's going on here? You know, all of a sudden I'm getting this waterfall, you know, but it's because your body's not used to that amount of water in such a short space of time. So 2 mouthfuls every 15 minutes, or sip some water once an hour. If you put yourself on a timer, and you will get through your quota of water. I promise you, I've seen it happen. People get used to it. They're not running to the bathroom as often. And it will help your kidneys a great deal. Your urine will be clearer. The smell of your urine will change. So, and like I said before, if you want to know how your kidney health is and your urine health is, invest in these very simple urine sample kits that will tell you, it'll tell you if you're dehydrated, it will tell you if you've got protein in your urine, it will tell you if you've got blood in your urine, it will tell you if you have a urine infection. Excellent kit to get. It will even tell you if you've got sugar in your urine. So it's an excellent kit. I'm not going to advertise it, but just go on Amazon and play around, you'll find it. But it's one of those things you put in your little arsenal kit at home.
Well, I was muted when I said let's all drink together, so I don't think you got that.
Oh, but we saw you. We saw you.
But what I was going to say was, when you are drinking, bear in mind the timing of your food as well. So you don't want to be same time as you're eating. You want to leave half an hour after your last drink of water before you eat, and 2 hours after your meal before you get back on your drinking
water. And you will get used to it. People say, I can't wait 2 hours to drink water after I've eaten all my food. As you get into the habit of introducing more water into your diet, you will find that your body balances out, and you will start to drink your water at the times you're supposed to drink the water, and you'll feel a whole lot better. And actually, once you start drinking water regularly, you're not going to believe this, and I hope I'm not getting into Lucille's presentation on the February the 5th, but you start to shed weight.
Yeah,
you actually start to shed weight when you drink more water.
And also those times when you feel like, oh, I could fancy a snack, just replace that snack with water, because the snack is going to be eating between meals, and therefore you have something to nibble on. I'm talking to myself now. If you have something to eat, you're going to have to leave it a longer time before you can drink some water again. So
because you've diluted the hydrochloric acid that breaks down the food.
Okay, before we jump more into the water ones, someone's asked, is it okay to eat plant-based yogurt? Because you said cut out the dairy, except the yogurt.
That's what I meant. I wasn't going to put plant-based yogurt, because what I'm trying to say to people is, if you're on a journey, a nutritional journey, what I don't want to do is cut everything out and then you wake up one morning and you're plant-based. It just doesn't work that way for people. They have to be, you have to go on them with that journey. And so if they find where it says cut out dairy products, except yogurt, if you have access to yogurt, have it. But for myself and for those of us who promote plant-based foods, we'll say plant-based yogurt.
Okay.
Because you can have a good cultured yogurt. I know that when people go on a colon cleanse, if they don't have access, colon cleanse or colon, whatever, if they don't have access to probiotics, what you can purchase online, you can actually use pure cultured yogurt to replace good bacteria. Not many people know that, but you can. But I'm not promoting the eating of dairy yogurt. I'm just saying, if you're on a journey, then and if that's what you have access to, then that's fine. But we promote plant-based yogurts.
And just one more thing about the corn silk. Now, I know there may be some people that
Sharon, you're going to be dreaming about corn silk tonight.
Some people that might try it for the first time and not actually dry it out properly, and find that their corn silk starts to get mold. Now, this is something that I've seen before. And so how do you store it?
Right. So when you get your corn silk, have a supply of, if you want to be drying herbs in your home, get a supply of brown paper bags. When you have your herbs, such as corn silk, you'll place it in the brown paper bag. You'll punch a couple of holes or 3 holes into it. You fold it up, put it on top of your wardrobe, put it in the kitchen on top of a closet, but it has to be somewhere dry. And you will find that the corn silk will start to dry out beautifully. That's what you do. Put it in a brown paper bag. If you're having trouble making sure it's dry enough, and leave it in that brown paper bag. Visit it after a couple of weeks or so. You'll find that it's drying beautifully, and leave it in that brown paper bag and put it back where you had it. That will avoid. Yes, airing cupboard, Jonathan, absolutely, because I know you and Sharon, you dry your herbs that way as well. You can put it in an airing cupboard and it dries it absolutely beautifully. And then you can, and after it's dried out completely, you don't have to leave it in the brown bag. Just make sure it's dry. You can place it in a jar and then put it away, and it will not become moldy. I promise you that, because I've done it. I dry a lot of herbs. I have never had moldy herbs. Never. I've never had mold, because I use the brown paper bag method. It's excellent. It works all the time and every time. I know you know, I better not mention, but Maimon Wilson is the one who, when I went on the training, he was the one who told us how to dry our herbs effectively. That's where I learned it.
I think I saw Sonia hand earlier.
Oh, sorry, Sonia.
No, I think it's covered already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said they freeze their corn silk and they keep it in the refrigerator, and it's perfectly fine when they come to use it.
That's fine. If that's the way it works for you, that's perfectly fine.
There's a question on
freezing is a way of is a way of preservation anyway. You know, just hopefully that the fridge doesn't break down or anything like that. You know, so I always try to use simple, easily accessible methods just in case.
There's a question on YouTube about kidney stones, I believe it is. Let me just go back to it.
Yeah.
It says, how would you get rid of kidney stones if you have it?
So the first thing to do, I don't know if Sonia wants to jump in here and Louise, but look at your diet. So remember, there was a slide that talked about oxalates, and these are foods, oxalic acid containing foods. So if you are eating these types of foods that have a high content of oxalic acid, reduce the amount of that, because these can cause kidney stones if you are prone to kidney disease. That is what you do.
Is that in rhubarb as well? Oxalic.
Rhubarb, yeah. Very high content, very high content. So if you are prone to kidney issues, try to reduce the amount of oxalates in your diet, and then it will reduce the amount of kidney stones. Now you've asked, how do I get rid of kidney stones? And Louise, do you want to cover that one with kidney stones? Because I do know there is a process. Or Sonia or Louise.
I was going to say, I would never say online how to get rid of kidney stones.
No, online. Actually, you're right. Thank you for correcting me. Yes.
And the only reason being is people who have kidney stones, they may have different types of kidney problems and so forth and so forth. So the best things to do is to check first if you do have kidney stones. And Joan has spoken about a massive range of foods that you can do, that you can eat and not eat, in terms of the oxalic high forming oxalic foods. And your things like your rhubarbs and all those type of things, even your spinaches and stuff, there's certain ways that you should eat them. I don't eat rhubarb at all because I don't think I need to eat rhubarb. I don't want it. But it's about looking at your diet. It's about looking at how you drink. It's about looking at your nutrition. It's about your exercise. It's about all those type of things. But if you have got kidney stones and you're having problems with the kidneys, the best thing to do is get in contact with TTI. They'll put you onto someone who can go through maybe a program with you, a consultation, and you do it that way and professionally, because I don't want to say to this person, okay, do this, do this, do this. Then another person jumps on the bandwagon and then, hey, there's a problem. So get in touch with TTI, and one of the medical missionaries on the team will be able to help you with that.
Yeah, and you're right, because then we're going into maybe addressing maybe a possible personal question. Mm-hmm. And because we are medical missionaries, we are nutritionists, we're herbal practitioners, etc. We have to be responsible also in the way we answer our questions, because we don't want someone to look at it generalistically and think it applies to, what the answers we give applies to everybody. Because as Louise said, and Sonia says, everyone's journey is different, their health condition is different, and there could be a number of reasons why they've developed kidney stones.
I mean, one of the things that you spoke about, Joan, in terms of the person who's asking the question, which I can say, okay, maybe this could be a easier way in, slipping this in, is in terms of the herb, the dandelion herb. which is grown everywhere. It's grown everywhere, as long as you're taking it from a safe, clean place, of course. That herb is just so wonderful, as long as you're using it correctly and in the right. Could we just mute, please, the person who's talking in the background? Could we just mute on that? Thank you very much. I just want everybody to hear what I'm saying.
Louise, somebody.
Sorry, Louise. You got muted in trying to mute the other person.
I didn't unmute. No. I didn't mute them. So.
No. We didn't say it was you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that type of herbs is a very good herb. And there's like, sometimes you can do simple programs, like a 2-day program in terms of detoxing the kidney effectively and properly. Yes, just by what you're eating and drinking. You know, Joan was talking about the kidneys, they need a good amount of water. But of course, if you have a kidney problem, you don't want to be over excessing on the water either, because of course you could be causing more damage there. So it is with, as Joan was saying, everything needs to be done in moderation. You need to be speaking to your health advisor. And then, you know, I always say to people, try and take control back of your health in terms of steering away from those stuff and moving towards the more natural stuff. But do it properly. Don't be nilly-willy, because then you could end up hurting yourself more than anything else.
There is one more question that was asked. Can you use a dehydrator to dry your herbs?
Yes, you can. If you're fortunate enough to be able to afford a dehydrator, it's a good investment, because rather than waiting for weeks for your herb to dry, you put it in the dehydrator. It works the same way as if you were drying it in a brown paper bag. It's actually an excellent addition to your kitchen. A dehydrator is. It works. It's excellent. And just make sure that the only thing is, when you have your dehydrator, make sure that you put it on a setting that ensures that your herbs are actually dried out properly.
You know, sorry, Sonia, go ahead and then I'll.
Oh, wait, Sonia. Go ahead, Sonia.
Okay. Sister Louise, you were talking about the herbs. You want to finish the herbs? I want to just come back in a little bit on the kidney stones and why that happens sometimes. Okay. So, but finishing what you're in relation to the herbs, and I'll come back in just now.
I was going to say, Joan spoke on the herbs that you can use. There's quite a few nice, gentle herbs that you can use in terms of looking after the kidney and stuff like that with the herbs. There's quite a few. I was listing quite a bit, but when I saw Joan's list, I thought she's got it all covered. Thank goodness, as our herbalist. So yeah, you can go ahead and list in terms of the kidney stones. Go ahead.
Right, just to say that we need to be also mindful that sometimes our diet have just too much calcium in it, and too much calcium is like calcium's enter the body, but don't know exactly where to go, what to do. But with the introduction of magnesium, and for those who probably hear me talk about magnesium, I always talk about magnesium. It's a mineral, one of the fourth largest mineral in the body. So magnesium is needed to say, okay, calcium, you need to go into the bones, you need to go into the teeth, get out of the bloodstream, you know, to direct it. It's like a bodyguard, move it around to where it needs to go. And a lot of times we don't have enough of magnesium, or if we do, then our lives are so much stressful. So we live in a stressful world, let's face this, and stress is inevitable. Stress will happen, but I'm always saying, trying to find means and ways of dealing with stress, because stress then depletes the body of a magnesium. See, kidneys, they need a magnesium as well. Potassium is another one which can be really damaging too much to the kidneys, but magnesium is easily used up and is excreted out as one of the electrolytes. So we need to have more magnesium in the body to help with the calcium it needs to go. And of course, that hits on to vitamin D and all the cascade of other vital nutrient that comes in. But in terms of kidney stones, we want to be careful of a lot of calcium and not having magnesium to go with it as well.
Yeah, you're perfectly right, Sonia, in terms of the vitamins. B vitamins are excellent for the kidneys, including niacin, thiamine.
Vitamin B2, vitamin B6, and
yeah,
magnesium.
absolutely. These vitamins are essential for good kidney health, and you can get them from your food. You can actually get them from your food. Yeah. I was going to mention okra. If you look at okra, I don't have a picture on the slide, but if you look at okra, it's actually got the same little hat sitting on top of it as it does with the courgette. And did you know that okra is excellent for the kidneys as well? Now, I know that TTI did something on okra smoothie. Was it okra smoothie? Yeah. Yes. Okra is another one that you can use if you can get hold of okra. It's excellent for the kidneys. Absolutely brilliant. However, if you are, this is the disclaimer, if you're diabetic and you are on metformin, if you're on metformin, then you will not be able to eat okra in high amounts because it disturbs, can you believe it? Something given by God disturbs the medication, which is metformin. So okra is excellent for the kidneys, but if you are diabetic, be careful of how much okra you eat, because it does something with metformin.
What we usually do with clients when they're here with me at my home is, like, those who are not actually on any meds, I love to catch them when they're not on any meds whatsoever. They say prevention is better than cure. And what we do is we use the okra therapy with them, and especially people who are diabetic and stuff like that. And people have come back and said this works a treat. Do you understand? Okra is also called lady's fingers for those who don't know.
Yeah.
And this works an absolute treat. I've used this with several of my clients, and it works really, really nice. And it's a simple process of just cutting off the ends and sticking it in the water overnight and drinking the water the next day. And that is such an easy process. But of course, if you are on medication, then of course caution needs to be used. But can I just quickly jump in and just look at some of the juices that are quite good for the kidneys, Joan, if that's okay?
Yes, of course.
So like you've got things like your beet juice, your watermelon, of course, everything in moderation. Lemon juice, your citrus fruits are excellent for the kidneys. Cranberry juice, which has been mentioned before, and also ginger, apple, turmeric. Those juices are like your when you drink those things, your kidneys are saying, thank you. And just by adding little bits of ginger into your apple, or turmeric into your apple juices, or into any of your juices, it makes your juice like 10,000 times better. So add those in, the anti-inflammatory, all those type of things full of antioxidants, and I can go on and on and on and on, but I won't. But do those juices.
No, it's true. Good. In fact, there was a study done on rats, mice or rats. Who do they use? Do they use mice or do they use rats? I can't remember.
Usually mice.
Okay, so they did a study on one group of mice eating okra, and then they had a control group. And what they found was that the mice who ate okra, their blood pressure lowered, thereby having less pressure on the kidneys. It's fact. So okra lowers blood pressure. Yeah, you're looking at me like, is that, you can Google it while
it's true.
You can Google it while I'm sitting here.
Yeah, go and Google it and have a look.
Yeah, just look at the benefits of okra.
Yeah. Some people, I think in the old days, a lot of our parents, I say the old days because then I'm thinking about myself now, but a lot of our parents ate these foods without actually realizing the benefits of them, because it was just part of their staple diets, but it was doing like massive good for them. And we've gone away from eating lots of those foods. For me, I don't particularly like okra. I don't like that slimy kind of taste.
I love it
in it, but if someone cooks it really well for me, without the slime, and my mum and one other person, Auntie Jean, can cook it like that for me, then I will eat it. But it's your go food. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Any more questions?
No, I think that's it now. There was
Thank you.
there was a farming question, but I believe Karen answered that one, unless Jonathan had any questions. It was something to do with caffeine in the soil and using it as compost. Is it okay to put it in the garden? But I believe that one's been dealt with.
Okay, good.
Jonathan being our resident farmer.
Yeah.
He's smiling. I think
they got chickens now.
Oh yes, a couple of us have got chickens. They've become part of our family. Yeah, you both have
chickens now, yes.
Oh yes, they are our family. And we're not having them for food, don't worry. We're not eating.
No.
They're our pets. Right, so I think it's definitely time now for us to wrap up. So those of you who have joined us for the first time, thank you for coming on. We don't want to keep you too long because you've been sat for a while. So you may have been exercising while you've been listening, and if you have, fantastic, well done. Some of you may have been eating, I don't know, I'm not there, I don't know. So whatever you've been doing, we look forward to meeting with you again in 2 weeks' time. That's on the 5th of February, and Lucille has been fairly quiet today, but she will have plenty to share with you about the fat controller. So before we disappear and say goodbye to those of you on YouTube, we're going to run through our promo slides again. And thank you so much, Sister Joan. Really, you are part of our TTI family anyway. You know,
I am.
I know you're holistic, and I know you're Association of Health Reformers, but you're still TTI.
I know you Mercy Doors, and I know you
Access for Health, Access for Health with Sonia, Mercy's Door with Louise,
Manor House,
Lucille Manor House. But we're all one.
I know there's Unocento.
Plant Easy.
Plant Easy.
Ministries, helping ministries. We're all working for the same master.
Nature's Light. Yeah, we're all working together.
That's right. So it's lovely to have you on here as well, Sonia and Louise.
Thank you so much, sisters. I enjoyed
Sonia
it.
She looks like she's in a warm place, but
Sonia, where are you? All right, we won't put it on YouTube. Where are you? I'm gonna WhatsApp you. I need to know where you are. I'm intrigued.
Okay. So thank you. She's giggling there in the back. Oh, okay, it's the lights. It's the lights. Okay. These light rings and whatever else, they're very good. They can be a little deceptive. Right, so let's go to our, my screen. Okay, so this isn't quite where it needs to be, but let's take it to where it does need to be. Let's go to, okay, we're getting there. That's the wrong one. Sorry, guys. It's just the wrong PowerPoint I've pulled up. And it should be this one. Yeah, right. Okay, we're there. And from current slide. After all that. From current slide. Yeah, we're there anyway. There's a long way around, but we got there. Okay, so can you see the slide? You can't.
Sharon, it's not on slideshow mode.
Oh.
I can see a slide, but it's not on the slideshow mode.
Oh, it is on my phone, so I need to stop share. It is on my device. I need to stop share. There we go. Stop share. Let's try again. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who are seeing the disclaimer up, this is where we are. Right, so next show, not next week, next Family Health show will be on the 5th of February because we're taking a break on the 29th of January. If you rewind back to the beginning, Jonathan nicely explained what we're doing in our break. So if you're on YouTube, just rewind and you'll see it. Okay, you'll hear it. I'm conscious of time. So Lucille Fifield will be speaking on the fat controller. So tune in on the 5th of February, get the right month out. And we look forward to sharing this time with you. And please invite your friends, invite your family, invite your neighbors, your work colleagues, anybody that you want to share this great news of health maintenance with. Okay, Jonathan?
So here we have the Telegram groups that we've been running. You have the spiritual group and the women group and the men's group. And if you like to keep in touch during the week, you can keep in touch with us by using these platforms.
Okay, and that's reminded me, we still have to get the challenge out of Joan for this week. Okay, and Joan did nod, so I believe you've got one for us. Okay, so Plant Easy, Janine Higgins is running some sessions, 3 sessions in the month of February, virtual cooking sessions. So this is via Zoom, so don't worry if you're not able to reach where she is. It's all virtual and it's based on mood food. Okay, foods that help to fight depression and anxiety. For more information, please contact Janine. Her phone number is there, and you can contact her via an email address as well, which is, I can't find my mouse to move this thing out of the way, which is planteasy at, and that's planteazy at icloud.com. So you can contact her to find out more information about the 3 sessions looking at breakfast, lunches, and dinner recipes. And the price is there on the slide for you. Okay, next slide, please. We spoke a lot about detox. Okay, I can see some people are moving. Don't forget your cameras are on. We got you, we got you. Okay, I won't mention any names. Okay, so you've heard from Sonia Barnes, you've heard from Joan Cornwall, you've heard from Louise Reed, and last week, if you tuned in, you heard from Dr. Louisa McGarpy. Now, these 4 lovely ladies will be taking you through, if you sign up, a 12-day cleanse. There's going to be lots of information. There's going to be WhatsApp support, Zoom presentations, a herb pack coming through the post, and the cost on there does include postage and packaging. So please contact Louise on 07833 497 532 for more information. There's only 50 places available altogether. I don't know how many are available right now. They may be going, especially after today's presentation. So please get in there, and there's an early bird cost, which is rapidly coming to an end. Okay, so if you want to catch the early bird price, please do this ASAP. It will be finished by the end of the month, so we do need to move rapidly on that one. And it starts on the 20th of February. So a 12-day cleanse, detox, looking at our colon, our gallbladder, and our liver. And once a year minimum, so you know, it's a good thing. Money well spent. Jonathan. And there was a question.
I think I've given you enough information regarding the oil, Sharon, so you can, you can share.
They're tired of hearing me. Okay. Unachenta farm in Spain, owned by Sam and Rowena Davis. They have provided some oil. They have olives growing on their land, and they have produced some olive oil, which is good for you and tastes good. And you can contact us. We are selling them in the UK, so for delivery in the UK only. If you wish to have some, I don't know how many more we've got. I don't know if you wouldn't have heard of anyone from anyone yet during today's show. But at the beginning of the show, we had, was it 11 bottles?
We have 11, Sharon, and unfortunately, because of us leaving the EU, we'll be having problem in getting any further delivery from Spain. So we don't know if we'll ever get any again after these go. So it's just 11.
Yep. So while stocks last,
but just to say, I mean, I'm happy to keep the 11 in my house, but because I want to share the goodness, you are happy to purchase from us. But the oil is really, really nice.
So you can contact us on our email address, ttinternational777@gmail.com, or if you do have our personal numbers, then that's another way you can do that too, or through the Telegram groups. You can message us that way. And Joan was sharing something with us at the beginning about the No Jab, No Job interactive workshop that was streamed last week, Sunday. And if anybody wishes to get access to that recording, it wasn't streamed on YouTube, but you can contact Joan. There is an email address there, and there is a small donation that would be requested in return for receiving the presentation. So you can contact Joan. The email is the website is www.ahreformers.com. The email is ahreformers@gmail.com. So if you contact Joan that way, you should be able to get access to this presentation, which if you are in a position where your job is under threat, it is definitely worth getting this information, because it's very valuable, and it is going to be, worth whatever you give as a donation, more than that. And also, if you are not affected, there could be somebody that you know, somebody in your family, a friend, somebody that you would love to share this information with. Okay, and moving on. We would like to close out with a big thank you to everybody for all your support, for coming on, for sticking with us. And if you wish to offer us financial support, our account name is there, our bank details are there. So please continue to share, subscribe, and like if you go onto our YouTube channel, that is, obviously. And we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. I can see there is some health things happening somewhere. So wonderful, wonderful. Taking it, making the theory practical. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that one. I can't even say whose name it is. Okay, the person is laughing. Okay. Right. So anything that you'd like to say to close, Jonathan?
Oh, I'd just like to say thank you for everyone who joined us this evening, and I hope the presentation is and will be of benefit, and we thank you for your support. And we are encouraging everyone to practice the things that we are learning. That way it will stick with us, we'll remember it, it will be in our heads and our mind. If we don't practice, we will not get the benefit from what we are learning. So that's my encouragement as we say goodbye to those on YouTube.
Can you repeat the challenge, please?
Thank you. Thank you. Joan, where are you?
I'm here. So the challenge, maybe Louise and Sonny can think of something, but I was thinking that we get used to looking at the color of our urine when we go to the toilet this week. Look at the color of our urine starting from today or tomorrow, and see if there is a change once you've started introducing more water, or you manage to get corn silk, and see if there's a difference. So if you're someone who's adventurous and you want to go on Amazon and order a small bag of corn silk and try it as corn silk tea, then do that and see if you notice any changes. And if you introduce more water, whatever interventions you've introduced, see if your urine has made a difference in terms of color. So get used to looking at the color of your urine and using that as an assessment to your kidney health.
Yeah, and I just went to the toilet to do a wee-wee, and my urine was looking pretty good.
Very good. Excellent. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank
Sharon,
you for that, my darling.
Just one more thing from me. I'd just like to encourage the audience, please share the testimonies when we practice these things, because I know in the testimonial slots, it seems like there's a reluctance, a sort of unwillingness for people to share. But when you do share it, encourage others, and it encourage us as well. So we are encouraging guys. Next week, come back with your testimonies.
2 weeks.
No, 5th of February.
Yeah, sorry.
But you can also share your testimonies on the Telegram groups. I know the women's group is very active in that. And sometimes people share testimonies directly to me. And so, yeah, please don't be shy. Everybody goes to the toilet. Everybody has a wee. So don't be shy. Yeah, but you don't have to give us all the details, just sufficient to know that it's working. The plumbing's working. Okay, so thank you, everybody. And we like to take this opportunity to say goodbye to those of you who are joining us on YouTube. God bless you. Have a wonderful 2 weeks. And we'll keep you in our prayers. Keep us in your prayers as well. And we look forward to catching up again soon.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.